Getting ready for another amazing live tonight with the one and only James Anderson. He will be joining us soon. Guys, James, there he is. Ash, good of you to join. There he is.
Here we go. How are you all doing?
Good. The man, the myth.
Oh, mate, that's hardly me. That's all you. That would be all. 2 seconds. You there?
Mate, I'm here. I'm just getting my earphones in.
Fantastic. Yeah, well, you're the one that asked me to jump on the earphones, and
Mate,
now you don't even have yours. You're bloody slacking there, mate.
I know. I just take orders from everyone over here. It's yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
Yeah, well, that's normally how it works in the world, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. Mate, been looking forward to tonight. Not going to lie to you.
Yeah, same. No, I really appreciate you jumping on board with me. I know I'm not the best looking guy for your live stream, but you're sort of scraping the bottom of the barrel with me. But
mate, we are. I'm sure that's what the ladies say.
Oh, what ladies?
Yeah, exactly, eh?
Oh,
so hey, everyone jumping on here. We're going to have an amazing conversation tonight. We come every single Wednesday night with a new guest. Tonight, we are honoured and privileged to be in conversation with James Anderson. Mate, we're going to kick this off pretty soon.
Mate, looking forward to it.
Yeah, good. Anyone out there too who's watching this live, if you have questions for James and myself, mate, we're going to clear the air straight away. This is going to be a common question tonight. Are you a bachelor or not? Or do you ask that question on air?
Well, do you want to elaborate on that question? What do you mean by am I a bachelor?
So, is there any commitment anywhere that the girls need to know if they're watching tonight?
Oh, no, I'm a young single man.
Okay. There we are.
Yeah.
That was going to be the most common question. We've answered it. We've answered it for everyone out there tonight.
Come on, get out of it.
Anthony, good to have you on here, buddy.
There's a few of my mates jumping on here, so don't embarrass me too much in front of them.
We'll try not to. I'm sure that's not your problem anyway. They might have some good questions for us, though.
100%. 100%.
Right, why don't we jump into this? So,
a
few little warm-up questions for you. Are you a dine-in or dine-out kind of guy?
Definitely a dine-out kind of guy. I love getting out of the house. I love getting out into the world, being around people. Yeah, that's definitely my go.
So dine-out, what's your favourite cuisine?
Japanese is really good. Big fan of Japanese. Yeah.
Yes. Favorite restaurant then?
Got to go with Nobu. It's pretty good.
Yes. Man of good taste.
I love the atmosphere. A lot of the time it's actually not so much about the food. It's actually about the atmosphere of the restaurant for me. That might change as I get a little bit older and a little bit uglier. But, for the time being, yeah.
All right, so dine out. Now, I know we had this conversation off air.
Yeah.
Drink of choice.
Beer. Peroni Nastro Zero, I reckon.
On tap.
On tap. Has to be on tap. Yeah, for sure.
Followed by a cheeky tequila, I believe.
Well, keep that as off air.
Okay. All right then. Do you prefer watches or cars?
Cars.
Okay. Now, I know there was a post that you made, right? And everyone thought you bought this beautiful G-Wagon.
That's right, yes.
And I was one of those people who thought, man, this boy's buying a G-Wagon. Yes. What is the favourite set of wheels if money was no object?
Oh, mate, that's a really good question. I I can't give you an exact model yet because I'm
Okay,
really
yeah.
undecided, but I'd probably do a McLaren. Yeah.
Okay, mate, very nice.
Yeah, I'm a big McLaren guy. I'd say that'd be the one.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
All right, weights or classes? So an F45, you're in the gym yourself, doing an old The Rock, pumping
Oh,
up.
okay. Yeah, I'm a big pump myself up doing weights kind of guy.
Yep.
I'm in the gym, yeah, about 5 times a week.
Ladies, you hear that?
Yes,
All right, last one, then I want to get into some meat, right? If
sure.
you could have coffee or a beer with anybody, dead or alive, who's it going to be?
Oh, I do have the answer to this. This is quite an emotional one, but my
I like it.
grandfather, who's passed
What?
away.
Okay, how come?
I think in the time that he has passed away, which is about 5 years ago,
Yep.
there's just so much I'd want to pick his brain on that I probably wasn't mature enough to comprehend back when I was sort of 18 years old.
That's a good answer.
And it would be a beer.
Okay, good. And a really good
Yeah,
answer to your grandfather. I like that.
yeah, yeah.
I really like that. So, for those of you on here and we're going to watch this later who don't know who James is, why don't you give me a bit of your background story? I know you've played pretty high level basketball.
Yep,
So before you got into what you're doing now,
yep.
who are you? Like,
Yeah, no, all good question. I grew up in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, Trinity Grammar School boy. Before moving over to the United States for year 11 and 12 on sort of basketball scholarship. Went to Lalomere High School, where it was extremely high level high school basketball over there.
yep,
We ended up winning the high school national championships when I was in my year 12 equivalent.
yep,
From there, went on to play Division One college basketball for a year before coming back to Australia and cracking on to my sort of real estate and property career.
yep,
Went through, commercial real estate at CBRE and internship for 3 months before being in the investment structured sort of house and land space for about a year
yep,
and 3 months. As you know, your luxury, high-end, more residential market at White Fox. I think it was about 8 months there, 8, 9 months. And now have started my own business where we do focus more on the um, house and
Hey,
land
Paulie,
industry.
Paul Tamala,
Paulie,
just a big hello to this man.
here he is. Hey, still waiting to catch up for that beer, Paul. So maybe you, me, and Martin can do that together.
Yeah, sounds good to me. So tell me this, right? Before you went over, that actually used to be a dream of mine to play basketball over in the States, right?
Yeah, right.
Before you went over there, unless you were going to obviously sign a contract, did you know it was real estate that you wanted to get into when you came back home?
I actually always said I would never get into real estate. I used to say I hate real estate agents. I want nothing
Okay.
to do with property. Um, and just was everything but real estate,
Why?
believe it or not.
Why?
I hate, and probably still to some extent hate or dislike the salesy sort of nature about
Yeah.
real estate. And I suppose once you sort of get into it more, you realize it isn't so much the salesy sort of nature, and it's sort of part of the job. But I sort of suppose that I had, some family in property as well. And I think it may have also been I want to create my own path.
Yeah.
I was never going to follow or receive help, by following in the footsteps of someone else in my family.
Yeah.
So for that, I think, it would have been a bit of a mixture between not liking salesy sort of people, and sort of wanting to, go in my own footsteps.
Yeah. That's good. But you end up
Yeah,
going down that way anyway. And
end
so
up going down that way.
you obviously then tried the commercial side of things,
Yeah,
which is probably not as salesy, right, as residential.
not
Is
not
that fair to
so.
say?
Not so much as sales. That's correct.
Yep.
Yeah,
Then you would hit the high end residential stuff with good old Marty Fox.
that's the one. Yep.
Now you've come across to where you are now, right? So
Yeah.
tell me a bit about what you do right now. So how do you help clients at the moment?
Yeah, good question, Martin. So at the moment, look, we provide a service to clients who are typically either first home buyers or first time investors. And when I say first time investors, i.e. they don't own a property which is, of investment nature,
Yep.
it is perhaps their own home. Now, we as a company obviously have connections with, a lot of land agents and builders. So we focus on the house and land market predominantly. Yep. And we effectively give people the guidance that a lot of people need. A lot of people don't understand what's going on when purchasing property. Who do I need to go to? Well, for starters, it's broker, conveyancer. Sometimes it's financial planner, right? It's real estate agent, right? So we're able to sort of put everything under the one umbrella and effectively facilitate a transaction by putting all the pieces together and giving it to the client under the one umbrella,
Yep.
right? To be honest, not all clients need us. Not all clients need our services. Some clients are more than capable of being able to do this themselves. But a lot of people out there just don't have the knowledge or the education or the time to be able to manage all this. So we take pride in managing the process for our clients, and that's where we provide value.
So let's say I'm obviously in the broker space. I'm talking to a client. We have a lot of clients now who want to do the rent vesting. So they don't want to buy a principal place of residence. They just want to go straight into the investing game. It's something I love myself, right? So I say, great, I've got the man. I send them across to you. What's their process when they're talking to you now? How do you understand? I'll say, hey, they can spend up to this much. How do you choose that right property in that location to help their goals?
Yeah. I think it's so much deeper than they can spend up to this much. I've always been a big believer in understanding the client's goals and objectives from an investment standpoint.
Yep.
Are they looking for something which is short term? Are they looking for something which is long term? Do they want to sort of build up a portfolio of X amount of properties in X amount of years, or they're sort of just trying to jump into one principal place of residence? Once I understand whether they could be more cash flow focused or capital growth focused, or are they young, are they old, are they self-managed super fund? So many different factors that you need to understand your client or about your client before being able to sort of say, here's your ideal area, or here's your ideal type of property. So it is not so much a sales thing. It's about understanding your client's goals and objectives thing. And that's what I love about what I do, because it's not salesy. It's really guidance sort of focused, based on, their needs.
That's really good. So, I mean, we have a lot of clients that come through, especially the older ones, want to get into the self-managed super fund style of lending, which the type of properties that you deal in can be absolutely fantastic, I believe, for that type of clientele. But, I'll tell you something I'm hearing. There's a tiny age gap between you and I, right? But
sure.
But so you actually speak with a bit of wisdom with what you're saying, right? Because you are a young fella, but by the sounds of the way you interview your clients is almost in a nurturing manner that you generally care about them achieving their long-term financial goals.
100%. It's the core of my belief in starting this business is that I'm not going to go out there and sell you property. I'm going to understand where you're at, and if my product or if my service is going to be of value to you, then we'll connect. If not,
that's really good.
I will literally need to respectfully decline and pass you on to someone who's going to be more suited to yourself.
Yep.
Right? But if you
really
are
good.
sort of, if I am up your alley, then we're in it for the long run. Yep. And every single thing that you need throughout this process to be educated on, or to be nurtured through, I'm giving it to you.
Yeah, it's really good advice. So let me ask you this question, right? So before you started your company that you're doing now, one, what was it that made you want to go out on your own at a young age? And what were your main hurdles that you had before opening up your own company? Whether they be mental, whether they be, anything like that.
Yeah. No, that's a really good question, Martin. Well, let's start with why did I want to do it in the first place? I saw a gap in the market probably because of the home builder grants, and a few friends sort of asking, friends or family friends, etc., asking for that kind of product, which a lot of people knew that I had a lot of experience in, but I was unable to assist them, because of the conflict of interest, and I never would want to do the wrong thing by the previous company I was at. When I saw that there was going to be the real potential for me to build something for myself, that was one key factor. The other key factor is I really wanted to be, I call it my own boss. A lot of people will call it their own boss. I wanted to sort of run under my own schedule. I saw starting this company as something which was going to be able to fit into my lifestyle at this point in time. Something which I didn't sort of have to go all guns blazing and, be an absolute aggressive sort of sales machine from get-go, but just be able to help the people who I want to be able to help, deal with the people that I want to be able to help, at least for the start. And I saw that, from an early stage, it was going to give me just a lot more freedom in my sort of life and my lifestyle.
Yeah, it's good. So going out on your own is obviously something that's always been in you, probably from a young kid, I'd say. Yeah.
Oh, look, I don't know that it's always been in me, to be honest. I mean, no one else in my family or my direct sort of family has started a business and sort of gone out on their own. So I haven't really been fully exposed to that. I think I was probably more on the conservative side where I was just happy to work under a firm, or that's what was in my head. It really was when I saw the gap for myself to be able to take that risk and start my own company that I could see sort of the light at the end of the tunnel. I could see the hurdles that needed to be jumped over for me to be able to get there. And I could see it being feasible as well.
So were there any other barriers that you had then before you launched straight out into your own?
Yeah, I'll tell you what the biggest one was.
I
had no fucking idea what I was doing.
I love it.
I'm a 21, 22-year-old. Never started a business before. No one in my family started a business before. Wasn't getting handouts from my family. And I was just going, let's just fucking go. And I think that delayed the process. I could have done everything much quicker. But obviously, first time starting a business, didn't really know what I was doing. I had to sort of take steps pretty slowly.
I love it, man.
And I'm still to this day finding things that, oh shit, I forgot to do this or need to do that. That's literally a vital part of my business. Why haven't I done it yet? Why isn't it sorted? So no, it is a learning process when you haven't done it before, and I really don't have someone who I'm holding onto their hand every single day. I'm not getting any help like that. So it's a learning process day by day. Yeah.
No, I've never had a job in my life.
There you go. I love that.
When I was your age, I bought a hairdressing salon in Port Melbourne. I'd never cut hair in my life. And thought, I'm going to get some girls who can cut hair for me. This is going to be fantastic.
Nice.
I did a few spray cans here or there.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
But sometimes it's diving head first.
Yeah.
And saying, hey, you know what, we're going to sort through the shit. Sometimes it's going to be great. Sometimes it's going to be hard. Well, let's just go for it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, too many people out there get procrastinated on what if this happens? What if this happens? I haven't done this.
That's right. Yeah.
There's no better way just to say, let's go.
Yeah. That's right. Well,
let's just make it work.
Mate, that's right. You need to sort of just deal with the punches along the way. Yeah.
No, mate, I love it.
Thanks. Thank you.
It sounds like you're my younger self with better hair.
Well, I might be going down that path. We'll see how we go.
Hey, what's this? Bring back the hair room, MB.
The hair room. Got a few lovely comments in here. Thank you, everyone who's wished me a happy birthday. It was my birthday a few days ago, actually.
Mate, happy
Um,
birthday.
yeah, just turned 23.
23 years old.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's just end there then.
I've just lost all my credibility.
Done. No, mate, in all honesty, man, hats off to you, right? Because it's a massive thing to do. And those of you who have never gone into business, the greatest thing you can do is just grab yourself in the sack and say, let's run. Let's go for it. Because you're young enough to make mistakes, and if you do, to bounce back. You've got the energy, because you need a hell of a lot of energy when you're running a company.
100%.
And mate, seriously, hats off to you. I love it. These are the sort of stories that I love to hear from young guys doing, giving life a real crack. And you know what? In 17 years, when you hit sort of my age, mate, you just gave it away then, didn't I?
Oh, a little bit.
You look back and it's like, mate, what a journey.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I think, to add to that point, Martin, I think, you're asking me off air about, goals, objectives, for myself and my company. That's the thing about, I think, starting a company so young with no experience is your goals and objectives, they're almost sort of, you aren't really clear on them because you're not really sure what an objective goal or objective is in this business until you sort of jump in and acquaint yourself with it a bit further. So I suppose that also sort of ties in with understanding where my goals and objectives are with this company. Is I'm still sort of understanding what my own goals and objectives, what I want to achieve out of it. I think with anything in life, it's about following a process and taking, every day as it comes with, the tasks that need to be done. Once, you sort of get through, a year or 2, 3, however long, you then start to really understand, right, now I know what this business can do. Here are my goals based on understanding the pace at which this business can move at.
So let's touch on that for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to build out a team?
I think I do want to build out a team, sort of within, obviously in-house within Bluestone. I still think that building out a team within Bluestone is still 6 to 12 months off. I think I still need to understand my own business in the next 6 to 12 months and learn about my own business before I can confidently take people on.
That's good.
And sort of be their leader. I have managed a sales team in this space before at my company prior to White Fox. But there's such a huge difference between being a sales manager and then being a business owner with employees.
Correct. I mean, I had an experience. I initially scaled my business probably too fast, too early.
Right.
And then sometimes, so we scaled out to 14 loan writers, and because we did it too early at such a premature stage, we had to almost take it all the way back and then scale it out all over again.
Yeah. Right.
Whereas if you plan it properly and do things in the right season, you can actually save 4 or 5 years of pain of trying to build things in the wrong timing. So it's really good.
Right.
Again, mate, it's good to hear a young guy with a good head on his shoulders understanding the right time, because you can do the right thing in the wrong time.
Yeah.
And then it's actually the wrong thing. But doing the right thing in the right season, that's when things take off.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, question for you here too, right? Within your business, now this might be something that is on your mind, is not on your mind. Once you've built out a team, can you see yourself going into rental management and expanding so you have more of a diversified income stream? If you're allowed to answer that question.
Look, I don't want to sort of sit here and act like as if I've planned ahead when I haven't. I probably haven't thought that far ahead.
Okay.
As I said before, I do take things very day by day. Perhaps not the best planner, which is why I should employ someone to do some planning for me. It sounds like, but Yeah, I really haven't thought that far ahead. I do see some businesses who do it and do it quite successfully. I see other businesses where I would probably feel more comfortable is simply, and what I do now is probably sticking to what I do now is outsourcing that rental management kind of role. You know, to your local estate agents out there. I have a lot of sort of relationships out that way with really good people. Who do an exceptional job for my clients.
Good.
So yeah, they're probably just stick with them is how I feel at the moment. Yeah.
Good answer. So, mate, off work for a minute, right?
Yeah.
What is it that drives you and motivates you? Like whether that be in the gym, whether that be doing your work, doing your thing.
Yeah.
There's obviously because there's not many 23-year-olds doing what you're doing, all right? So what is it that drives you, gets you up in the morning?
This is a really interesting question because I've had a lot of ups and downs in my career, whether it was through basketball or through property. My answer is probably going to be a bit more general than you'd like. I think it's the idea of being able to live a lifestyle which is very free is what drives me.
I love it.
It used to be very monetary things like car, watch, financial freedom, whatever you want to call it, right? What really motivates me is the freedom to live my own, life comfortably and do what I would like to do with myself on a day-to-day basis.
Yep.
For example, next week planning a trip up to Sydney with a friend overnight, just like that. One of my good mates. We just want to go over for a night. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have, some level of financial stability behind me.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, once you understand that, and as you sort of probably grow older and as you mature, that freedom or those wants begin to, mature a bit and they become more sophisticated. I can imagine that's the case.
Yeah.
I think, being able to live with that sort of freedom is really what drives me. On a personal level. But doing what you love doing on a day-to-day basis, like that's the best part of all of this. I love working with my clients who are my friends at the moment. I won't name who he is, but I've seen one of my clients who's also probably one of my best friends just joined this call. Or this live stream, being able to deal with people and genuinely know that you are assisting someone to build their sort of financial freedom, to build their sort of general freedom. I won't even call it financial freedom. I'll call it freedom in general. And for them to achieve their goals and objectives in life is a really special feeling. And I say that with, I would imagine a lot of people say that with not so much sincerity, but from a personal standpoint, that really does motivate me from an external standpoint. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good, and I think you just listening to what you say and the sincerity in it. When it is time to scale, you will have that desire for your team, which is so important, right? Because when it gets to that point, and everything I do myself is about freedom. I've got 3 kids, a wife. My number one goal in life is freedom. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You won't understand this yet, but getting married gives you a whole lot of freedom. Right? So when you look at that...
I'm going to bloody question you on this one when you finish. So, all right. Yeah.
That's all right. I'll look forward to the question. So then when you start working with your team, what we notice is, because my number one value is freedom, it now becomes not about me. It becomes... about you. So the only way I get to achieve my goals and my dreams is if now I help all my team achieve theirs. And they're different to mine, right?
That's correct.
But they're very relevant for them. So unless you learn and dive down and dig deep and, hey, what does your client want, like you were talking about, then it's, hey, what does everything from your receptionist want to achieve in their life? Your company's got to be the vehicle to help them get there.
Yeah.
And you build that out.
Yeah. I actually on that to sort of raise a point which we were on before, Martin, is I think the issue with me bringing anyone on right now as well, with me still need to understand my business more, is I wouldn't want to take someone on and have this massive care of them, but not actually know how to look after them. Like that, I would literally feel, I'd feel so bad knowing that, oh, here's my responsibility. I'm literally putting food on this person's table, but I don't know, what I'm doing to do that. So that's probably why I'd be obviously reluctant to put anyone on in any sort of, within the next 6 to 12 months. My question that I was going to ask you before is, you raised it when you get married, you get a lot of freedom. And that to me just seems preposterous, but I'm sure there's a good answer behind it. If you want to maybe elaborate on such, that'd be great.
I would love to elaborate.
Yeah,
you're
please.
A young bachelor. You're a handsome-looking man. You go out on your weekends. It's like this. To me, you hit a point, and you want to have pure focus.
Yeah.
To have pure focus, you can't have distractions.
Yeah.
When you find the right woman that keeps your eyes straight ahead, as well as other things, right? That brings your focus in line like this.
Yeah.
And I emphasize the right because there's a lot of wrong ones out there for you too, right?
Sure.
When you get the right one, the freedom of mind you have, the freedom of focus that you have, and depending on your spiritually the freedom that you have, enables you to go to levels that you maybe can't even comprehend.
Yeah, understood.
Because your focus and everything shifts so much. That's why I say, for me anyway, getting married is freedom.
Oh, that's a really good point. No, that's a very very astute insight, and I thank you for sharing that with me, mate. That that's really good. Yeah,
we'll have that
I understand
in about
it.
12 years' time.
All right, that's a while away. I eagerly await that one.
Now, sorry, go for it.
Oh, go on. Sorry, you're the man.
I was going to say, mate, you seem like you understand. We know you don't understand the ins and outs of the technology side of computers, right? But you seem like you understand what you do when it comes to the social stuff. So, is your business? Do you market that from a social media point of view? What is it that you do personally to help yourself generate business?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I do rely a lot on Instagram a lot. Now, there's to Instagram, there is Instagram in itself, and it's what do you do that relates to Instagram. And I'll explain it like this. You connect with people in the outside world before you in a lot of cases, you connect with them on the outside world before Instagram. Sometimes you connect with them on Instagram before you connect with them on the outside world, right? Yep. Getting these to play in with each other is really important. On Instagram, no one's just going to come up to your profile and be like, oh, great. Oh, he's a real estate agent or he's in property. I'm just going to hit him up. They're never going to do that, right? Correct. Unless they've been referred to you by a trusted family or friend, right? So how do you need to use Instagram to your advantage? You need to be seen doing shit on Instagram consistently for people to start to hit you up. And that's how I have generated, I'm going to say, it's not huge scale, but I would say over the last 3 months, I probably generated perhaps 5 transactions purely off Instagram. Some of those are friends of friends. Some of those are people who I've met in social circles, right? But that wouldn't have happened unless I was on Instagram doing my thing and, just putting myself out there, because you have to be seen, because if you're not seen, you fly under the radar, no one's going to hit you up, right?
So what do you mean by doing shit on Instagram? Is it purely work focus that you're doing on Instagram?
Sure.
Is it social life? Is it, what is it?
Social life is one aspect of it for my age group, right? Because a lot of my clients are actually in their 20s and they're first home buyers or first time investors, right? So it is about being social and socializing outside of Instagram. But on Instagram, it's so important that you are doing work-related stuff, okay? So let me give you a few examples of that in my case. It's, you know, putting it out there that you're going to appointments, putting it out there that you're going to conferences, putting it out there that you've got people who are related to this industry, that you're catching up with them. You know, are you going out to land estates? Are you going and seeing a builder? Okay. Are you signing a contract today? Putting all of this on Instagram helps you to generate business, right? Which people, by people seeing it over and over and over and over again, to the point where someone will come up to you at a coffee shop, or someone will come up to you at a uni lecture, someone will come up to you down the street and be like, Jimmy, how's your property business going? Oh,
Yeah, wow.
I'm actually looking to get into a home myself. And the amount of times that has happened, Martin, over the last sort of, as I said, probably 3 months since launching the business is huge. Even if they don't buy straight away, there'll be buyers in 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, a year. Doesn't matter how long. Whenever people are ready, they're more than welcome to come and hit us up, right? And there have been people who've come back, you know, who've come to me, gone away, come back to me, and then, you know, purchased. It's an interesting world, the world of socials, and if you can use it the right way, and if you're a good bloke or a good girl, you'll do really well. And it's probably where I hang out the most.
So I like this. This is a space I've already just started playing in, right?
Yeah.
So what do you differentiate yourself from your brand? For instance, look at me. There's Martin Bennett, the person, and then there's also the Loan Room, which is the company. Now, at the time I'm at, and I'm going to ask you for some guidance here, is we have the Loan Room, and there's me as a personal brand. We're one and the same, but we're also very different.
Yeah.
So what do you focus on? Is it personal brand or is it company brand?
Great question. And when I was starting my business, I reckon I've got a jot pad here where before I started my business, I used to just brainstorm ideas on this notepad, right? And I reckon I'm going to find a particular note that relates exactly to your point. If I can't find it in the next 10 or 15 seconds, I'll just come back to you. But bear with me here, because this is a really, really good point.
Guys, James, looking for that. If you have questions yourself and you want to shoot something off, mate, don't hesitate.
I can't find the point right now, but it'll be in here. You know, they were just notes just like this. In here somewhere, I wrote personal brand or Bluestone. And that was a huge thing when I was starting everything, right? Did I want to promote myself as James Anderson property person, or did I want to promote the brand as Bluestone? And when I started to understand the fact that I'm not going to be a huge company in the next 2 years, right? I realized that people were going to come to me as James, as, you know, on top of, you know, being my own business entity. So because of that, I pump my personal brand and who I am as a person way more than Bluestone.
I love it.
Bluestone is simply a pillar which I can lie on. My office is here because I can take people back, and, you know, we can sign contracts here, or I can bring broker in here, use the whiteboard, right? I've got signage, et cetera, right? It's a pillar which gives me credibility, right? Because I can't just go around as myself. Here I am, James Anderson, this, that. No, James, I've got Bluestone behind me, but people come to me. People see me doing, you know, being involved in the industry, and that has been good, really powerful. I think it's up to you and what you think's going to work based on who you are and what your company and your team sort of branding is like. But personally, and it's also what your market is like. Yeah. But with what my market is and what I stand for, people come to me as an individual. So that's where I come.
It's good. So So let me ask you this question then too, right? And depending who you ask, you get different answers. So someone like a Grant Cardone, who I'm sure you've heard of, right? Yeah. He says, hey, you should be posting like 24 hours a day. You have
Sure.
someone else who says, hey, you should do it once. It should look magnificent. And then you have someone else who do like 10,000 stories a day.
Yep.
What's your strategy to get the results that you're getting from Instagram?
I would agree with Grant Cardone.
I like that.
I think you just need to post whenever you're doing something. I could be better at it. Believe me, I could be better at it, right? But sometimes, you just get so caught up in the heat of the day, or, the other things that you're doing. I think you just need to put something out there. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be great quality. You just need to be seen doing things which are relevant to the industry.
Yep.
For people to see, and they will know.
Love it.
Trust me. All right. This is perhaps a bit of an overshare. I go out to a nightclub. I'll have at least 5 people come up to me. How's your business going? How was your week this week?
That's good.
Purely based on what I put on Instagram. Tell me that's now, even though, obviously it's not great to be, being in that scene. I'm 23 years old.
That's all right.
Tell me if that generates 5 sales in 2 years. Is amazing? Is it right?
Amazing.
So,
amazing.
But that wouldn't happen if I wasn't just putting shit out there. Going to this today, going to that today. I'm in a suit today. Shit, sometimes I'll just put myself up on Instagram in a suit, right? People will understand he's working, right?
So do you do it on the stories more than you do it on the actual
stories?
Post?
Yeah, stories.
All stories.
Yeah. For me, posts in terms of like, on your feed posts, I think they should be reserved for things which are a bit more of quality.
Yep.
Sure, but when it comes to stories, put them out there, get them going, show people what you're doing on a day, because those are things which you can show people that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, right?
Yeah, it's good, man.
You don't want to start putting all this effort into posts and stuff like that, right? That's what stories are for on Instagram.
No, it's good. Emma, you taking notes?
I'll tell you, you got to get me. Hey, you got to get me and Emma from my office. I'm telling you.
Mate, we'll work something out. She's staying here.
No, that's all right. You keep Emma. Emma, I might be able to offer you something more attractive, right?
Mate, really good. So on that, right? Because talking about the marketing side of things, we actually employed Emma 2 months ago. Yeah, probably 2 months ago. Because I said, let's go. I'm an all-in kind of guy, right? It's like, you know what? We want to learn this space. I want to dominate this space. Let's employ someone full-time in-house and let's just go for it.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So that's always my attitude. Now, having these conversations, because I've really stayed off the social stuff forever. Now I'm really realizing we're going to go. We want to build the #1 brokerage company in the country in the next 5 years. That's our goal here.
Love it.
To do that, mate, we're going to be all over this stuff. We're going to be talking to guys like you who understand the social media world that we live in.
Yeah.
To learn to grow and dominate in that space is good.
Yeah. I think, and it's a testament to you so far based on what I've seen. You're coming out with really game-changing ideas such as this weekly live. In fact, I did have in my brainstorm notepad here doing a weekly or a bi-weekly live. It comes down to being seen doing things which are relevant, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're doing. You're a top operator, mate. Like that gift card that you sent through, handwritten note. It's stuff which I've learned, and I could be doing it better now, but I know that it needs to be done, right?
Yeah.
All these things are extremely professional, classy, quality, whatever you want to call it, touches, which people will remember. That stuff they can put up on their fridge, handwritten, right? What else are you doing, right? So, Emma, you've employed Emma. It's an exceptional idea, and it's a real. I take my hat off to you for thinking it through. And it's not easy to. I mean, I probably can't speak from much experience in saying this, but it's not easy to change up from what you know, right? I'm sure you were never huge, as you've just said, you're never huge in the social media or technology space. To be able to adapt and change to the times which are, forever evolving. That's a huge testament to yourself and, your drive to grow your business, because
Thanks,
not a
man.
lot of people who I've seen that are of, call it 40 plus, are willing to change the way that they operate. And
Correct.
it is to their downfall. I see it happen monthly, right? Or I've seen it happen with people that I know who are running business, and they're too stubborn in their old ways. And then there's a ceiling. You can't break that ceiling, because with technology evolving, right? You need to keep up with it, otherwise you'll get left behind.
Yeah, 100%. And it's technology gives you speed too.
Well, absolutely.
The game. I was listening to a gentleman this morning. Mate, it's all about speed. Speed of information. How fast do you communicate with your clients, with your business partners, getting everything done like that? That's what everyone wants.
Yeah.
And that's what these sort of platforms allow us to do that. So let's stay in this space for a minute, right? Is there anyone out there that you learn from, that you study, who you would say is at the top of their game, that you learn on a regular basis and implement? Whether that be someone you physically get to talk to, or to someone who might be out there that you study.
I want to say yes, but the real answer is no. I really,
Honesty is good.
I should study more. I should study people more. I should seek out more help. Perhaps it's an ego thing. Perhaps, it's I want to do this all myself thing, and it'll be a learning curve. If I'm brutally honest, everything I do, I just go off what I have learnt in the past. Right, I've obviously been in this.
So sorry to interrupt you there. So you obviously say Marty Fox is phenomenal in this space, right?
Yeah.
Did you learn a lot from being around him when you were there?
The key thing I learned from Marty Fox is, and I was saying this to someone probably 2 weeks ago, it's the way he conducts himself, his aura, right? That was so huge from what I learned. The way he interacted with people, it was, as you said, it's phenomenal. The way people are attracted to Marty, the way he walks, the way he talks, the way he dresses, the way he brands himself, right? It attracts people to him. And, putting up lots of stories on Instagram, I'll get that from him. And he is a top operator in that space. And what I particularly like about him is that people come to him. He doesn't have to chase business. And I suppose if there's one goal or objective that it'd be ideal to have Bluestone emulate, it's the fact that, Marty Fox has people coming to him rather than him having to chase. Takes a lot of the hard work out of this game, because this game is chasing people down, grabbing them and going, here's what we've got. However, I suppose the counter, my counter to that is I've built a low overhead business here.
Yeah, which is good.
Where I don't need to chase business as much.
Yeah.
I chase business by going about my day, posting about my day, to the point where I'm not really chasing business. Business is going to chase me.
Yeah.
And I choose who I want to work with. If I don't want to work with someone, I'll handball them off to someone else. They will be better with someone else. So Marty's an exceptional operator. And to get to his level, he worked exceptionally hard. And he's done it through his pure sheer willpower. He's a guy who got no handouts. Yeah. He got no hand-me-downs. He was a real brute hard work.
Yeah, no, it's good. And mate, it's I'm learning a lot. This is to be really honest, I wasn't expecting to reach into here from tonight and grab a whole lot of gems that you're talking about. It's been fantastic.
Oh, thanks, mate. No, a lot of people call me an old soul, like as if I'm not 20, just turned 23. I need more credit for this, mate. I'll tell you what, I fly under the radar sometimes with this stuff. A lot of people think I'm just all fun and games. So maybe I should put myself out there on a more
Mate,
serious note more often.
I was going to say, I would suggest that you've got a real serious side to you.
It's what this business is all about. At the end of the day, I do pride myself. Look, this is probably another thing that I should touch on with regards to Bluestone, and other people can take this or leave this, but I like this personalised approach, and it's in my bio on Bluestone. The idea of having a personalised approach is that you're not here, you're not a robot, you're not stiff and commercial about everything that you do. You do need to have a stiff commercial side of you because you're dealing with, in some cases, people's do or die financial freedom, do or die financial future, a lot of the times these assets that people are purchasing is what they've worked their life 30 years for in some instances, right? You can't take that lightly, and it's never something that I do take that lightly. But you need to have an element of I'm not going to say fun and games, but you need to have a bit of light-heartedness about you, right?
Correct.
Obviously, it depends on the other person and obviously matching what they feel comfortable with. But sometimes it's about just being who you are. And I suppose who I am is not commercial. It's not stiff. I think a lot of people appreciate dealing with someone who's got a good balance there because otherwise they just don't like you. And if they don't like you, they're not going to want to do. I always say people come to like you before they come to trust you. Because whether they like you or not is typically something they can pick up fairly quickly, right? Trusting you is something which is done through consistent action, right? Which takes a bit longer. But if someone doesn't like you, they won't be as inclined to deal with you or to trust you. Even if being commercial and stiff is quite trustworthy, they're not as inclined to do business with you if they don't like you.
Yeah.
So you need to be someone who can connect. You need to be a person. You can't be a robot.
Yep. And people need to see. And in my office, we actually have a philosophy here. We try not to build on hierarchies, build on values.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm someone who I love to have a good joke. I think I'm the only one who thinks I'm funny, right? But what we do is actually so vital to when people are buying real estate that it can be really stressful. So unless you allow, say, myself and my team to express that lightheartedness, that fun, that playfulness, and I'm like that with clients too, you can lose everything caught up in the work, but for what?
Yeah.
Work's got to be so enjoyable. Clients, and what we do so many transactions every month. It's easy for us to take for granted that this is the first time a client's doing something.
Yeah.
It might be our 50th for the month. So you've got to also then try to separate yourself from what you're doing, the technical work. Put yourself in someone's situation and say, oh, wow, if we don't call them every 2 days, even though we said it's going to take a week for finance, they can get stressed because this is their first time they've ever done it. So you need 100%. What you're talking about, that human approach, to me, a playful approach.
Yep.
Along with the seriousness of, hey, this is business. We understand this is a transaction we're doing for you. It's under control. Let's enjoy the process.
You need to keep people updated in any kind of industry, right? Even personal relationships. I mean, I hate to bring girls back into this or relationships back into this, right? But you tell me, if you don't, you'd be more well-versed in this than me. If you don't continually give your significant other a level of security, are they going to leave you?
Oh, yeah,
well,
mates.
Potentially, right?
Yeah.
You need to continually give them that security. It's the same thing in this kind of industry. You need to continue to let these people know you're on their side. Touch base here, update there. If you don't update, literally the worst starts going through their head, and it'll bring you undone. It'll bring them undone. The wheels 100%. Will fall off, and it'll affect your own personal mental, right?
100%.
This whole industry, it's all about understanding, as I said before, understanding the other person, their goals, their objectives, right? Asking questions. When I was running a sales team, my biggest tip to anyone, ask fucking questions.
Yep.
If it works two ways. One way, it makes them feel like you understand them and you want to get to know them and you care about them. And two, it gives you all the answers you need to deal with that person. What do I mean
Spot
by
on.
that? How you learn about the person by asking questions, right? And little things, the way that they react to it, helps you provide a better service to them. It helps you deal with their circumstances so much better, right?
100%.
And they will enjoy, as I said, it works two ways. They will enjoy dealing with you more, and you will enjoy dealing with them more too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Mate, correct. It's good.
Yeah, it's all stuff which
It's basic though.
that's right. It's basic. I was going to say you don't need to learn this stuff. It's stuff that you should pick up.
Yeah, it's ask less. I mean, ask more than you speak.
Yeah,
Listen, actually listen and listen to their body language at the same time.
yeah,
Right? Says everything. But
yeah.
no, it's good, man. You're gonna go a long way. I like it.
I
I like
appreciate
it.
that, mate. No, it's
Mate, off topic from business for a minute. Right?
please,
So I can talk business all day. I love it so much.
sure.
But I want to get to know you more too, because we're gonna take you to the basketball, by the way.
Oh, look, yeah, I look forward to going to the basketball. Got to get Paulie Twyla down,
Yeah,
and
we'll bring him along. We'll sit you courtside, and we'll
all
have a
right,
good night. And
all
we'll go to
right,
the Botanical first.
mate. It's a dangerous bringing me to a botanical. Very dangerous. But if you want to have a good night, then do that.
Done.
But
I
do
have
it
to.
at your own risk, though.
That's all right, man. I'm one of those people though. I'll be there, then you won't see me, and you'll call me the next day, say, "Man, where'd you go?" And I would have ghosted by 9:30.
Yeah, I call that a Houdini. And a lot
Yeah,
of you can ask some of my closest friends. Let me see if any, Kelvin P. Brown is in this call. You can ask him about the Houdini, and he knows everything about the Houdini. I will exit myself from a situation that I really don't want to be in. I won't let anyone know. I'll call the Uber. I won't go outside until the Uber's there. Uber's there. I'll duck outside without saying a
and
word, and I'm
gone.
off. Gone.
Yeah, I am Mr. Houdini.
Well, it sounds like we're cut from the same cloth then. Here he is, he's got Kelvin goes, I can agree.
There we are.
He's seen me Houdini that many times that I just not really one to stay around in situations I don't want to be in for too long.
No, it's good. It's good. Let
Oh,
me, mate. You know what? We've been chatting for a minute. I don't want to drag this on too long. I got a few more questions for you. Then, if anyone out there again wants to ask some questions, please do. But actually, I'm gonna go two questions, right? Then
yep.
let's three questions. One, do you read or do you listen to podcasts? And if so, who? And if you don't, do you want to?
Yep.
Question number one. I'm gonna fire two at you. Then the last one I'm gonna leave to the end.
Uh-huh.
And what do you do to enjoy the fruits of your labor?
All right. So am I a reader or a podcast kind of person? If I have to be completely honest, I'm not really either.
Okay.
But I am a reader. I have taken up probably since COVID. Yeah. When I say read, I also do a bit of audiobook. So not as much as I should. But anything to do with sort of personal development and personal growth, I'm huge on that.
Yep.
Mindset sort of stuff is good too. I think I've got a bit of ADHD where I can't really sort of focus on something for too long. I always have to sort of be doing something else
Yep.
or, in some sort of form. So I've always actually struggled to get into reading. I think audiobooks have assisted with that.
Yep.
I think Chris Christophe from Reventine has said similar to this as well. Now that I think about it, yeah, the lack of being able to sort of focus on something, yeah, really really hinders reading. So, yeah, personal development stuff.
So what's the latest book you've read, or are you reading one now or listening to one?
Yeah, I'm going through. Oh God, I can't remember don't even remember the title of the book. It's not the point. But it's a book that the old man gave me. I'm just about to finish reading it. It's like how the New Zealand All Blacks, what you can learn about from leadership in business about the New Zealand All Blacks.
Yep.
So that book's done pretty well. You know, have taken absolute years to read it. That's one that I'm sort of enjoying at the moment. Yeah.
Have you heard of using what's called net time? I use what's
Next.
called net time, right? I'm like
Okay.
you. I've get a bit of ADD, so
Yeah.
I use net time, meaning no extra time. So you might be doing one thing, but you could be listening to a book at the same time. So it doesn't take
Yeah.
any extra time to do another activity. Net time,
So pumping out emails and listening to a book. Is
100%.
that what you mean?
Doesn't take you. People say you don't have time to do anything, right? So you just use net time. So you might be driving to the office. You got
Yeah.
30 minutes. Your car's a mobile university. You're listening to your book. You get it done. At the end of the week, you're doing audio. You put on 2 times speed. Mate, you've gone through 2 books.
I do like that idea, and the only small issue I have with that is how much attention you actually give to the book if you're doing something else, right? However, obviously, I can't really give that as too much of a counter because it's either that or I'm probably not going to do it anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you may as well get sort of 70% of something than 0 of something. So yeah, I do like that idea. The old net time 2 times the pace.
What do you do to enjoy your fruits? The fruits of your labour, your work. I know you like your freedom. You're going to go to Sydney next week. I love Sydney. What do you do to enjoy the fruits of your labour?
Are you saying just sort of the downtime? What I'd like to do in my downtime?
No, you work hard. Assuming you do pretty well. What do you like to do? Is it going out? Is it shopping? Is it travelling?
Yeah, look, I'm pretty big, and obviously in the social scene in my age group, and I suppose just being around a lot of people is something that I really like. I really value. You know, people in my family would say it's probably too much. At the end of the day, it's what I enjoy doing. I'm 23.
Spot on.
That's what I'm going to continue doing until, I grow out of it. And, as I've said before, nightclub, 5 different people come up to me. How's your business? How's work? How's property? I'm looking to buy property. Business comes from it too. So it goes hand in hand. I'm just not the kind of person who can sit at home and not do anything.
Yeah.
And that's why, coming back to your point earlier, I like to dine out more than dining in. So that's probably the fruits of my labour is spent in socialising at different levels. And just enjoying myself around the company of others.
Yeah. Mate, I'm on one last question, and why don't we call it a night? This last question, though, you get 1-word answer. Right now, being a younger man, you might have never put any thought to this, or maybe you have, because I know you've got a bit of a serious side to you too there, and you're a bit of an old soul.
Sure.
What's one word you would like to leave behind as your legacy?
Oh, one word. See, I've got
word.
I'm trying to find the right word. I do have an explanation for this, but I'm trying to understand the right word. One word. Well, do you want to maybe help me out with understanding what this one word might be?
For me?
No, for me, because I don't know what the right word is for this. But
there's no right word. So let's say something was. Let's say you left this world tonight.
Yeah.
People are talking about you. What do you want to be known as? Like, there's one word that if you could be remembered by that one word, or say 2 words, you'd be a happy man.
This is a great question, man.
I've stumped you.
Well, I know sort of what I would like people to sort of think of me, but putting it into one word is the issue, right? The answer to this is effectively that fucking kid did everything. Like, he worked hard, he played
Yeah.
hard, right? He just was fucking everywhere. And I've always valued this. Right? I've always valued, even when I was playing basketball, always valued getting good grades, social life, smashing it in sports, right? Just being the jack of all trades. He was just so good at just doing everything, managing everything. So
Yeah, you're right. I don't know how you put that into one word, but I know what you mean.
and that is the legacy I did leave behind. Even at my old school that I was at Trinity Grammar School when I was here, that they called me sort of the jack of all trades or something like that. Um, at some stage, a couple of the teachers are calling me that, but yeah, it's hard to put that down into one word. But
There is a
it,
word for it, though. I'm just trying to think of it.
yeah, well, you could I mean, shit, you could say two words. You could just say enjoyed himself. But
Love it.
you'd probably need fucking in front of that. Fucking enjoyed himself. Because I tell you what, I bloody well do.
That's good. Too many people
Yeah,
don't, mate. I think that's a good way to end it tonight. He fucking enjoyed
100%.
himself.
Bloody enjoy
Yeah.
yourself. Don't take things way too seriously.
Yep.
And have fun.
It's good. Mate,
Yeah?
I've had a lot of fun tonight. This has been great.
Mate, I really appreciate you getting me on here, mate. You're a top operator, and yeah, it's actually my pleasure to be on here with you, mate. So I do look forward to catching up in person for
Yeah,
the
definitely, man.
basketball.
Definitely.
And
I'll actually get my team to hook up with you later this week, and
yeah,
we'll try to lock in the time. We'll bring Paulie along,
done.
and maybe good to catch up with that young man too. And
He and I get along very well, and we still haven't caught up yet in person, but it's always it's always banter going back and forth between me and Paul. So
that's good.
yeah, be very keen for it, mate, and thank you very much for inviting me along to that. I'd be
No,
yeah,
mate.
really happy to come.
Legend, man. Well, again, mate, thank you so much for your time tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure from our end. We'll see you around really soon. Everyone else, hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, every Wednesday night in conversation with Martin Bennett. No doubt everyone knows where and how to follow you. You're on Facebook as well.
I do. I've got a Bluestone Facebook account, but I'm
Awesome.
mainly on Instagram, mate. That's my
Done.
bread and butter.
Guys, you can follow me at the Martin Bennett. And my man, again, I loved it. Have a great night. We'll chat soon.
Thanks so much, mate. We
Legend.
will catch up.
Done. See you, buddy.
See you, mate.